It's a really interesting question. The Syrians have been tight with the Iranians since not long after the revolution. And honestly, even though it's the most banal answer in the world, I think it's shared interests. Hafez al-Assad and then his son Bashar have never been particularly popular in the region, partly perhaps because they're not Sunni Muslims, partly perhaps because they always tried to hew their own road, partly because of the Syrian occupation of Lebanon, which I think was a huge thorn in the side of the Arab world for many, many years. But for whatever reason, the Assads needed a supporter, and the Iranians needed an Arab proxy. It really was a marriage made in heaven. But you know, the excess of resistance is really an Iranian term. And it is remarkable to note the extent to which the Iranians really have set the tone of the relationship. It is certainly not Bashar al-Assad who's in the driver's seat, but I would say even his father, who was a much larger character on the global stage, was not the one who set the tone. The shared interests are a trouble with the Sunni Arab world, general hostility towards their agenda and their leadership, and towards, you know, a small, poor country that offered a lot of opportunities to Iran. I've studied Syria for a long time, and it's a country I love. I've been there many, many, many times, and it has always been remarkable to me to watch how many in the Middle East and in Washington are sort of starry-eyed when it comes to Damascus. They think that there's some magic there, and this is the exact same attitude that infuses this severability question. The Obama administration came in and thought, this is going to be our play. And then and now the Trump administration has come in, and I think they think this is going to be their play. And again, we go back to the why: shared interests. And in fact, the Iranians and the Syrians have shared interests. By the way, so do the Russians. What's the incentive? What is the incentive that splits them apart? Well, what is Syria now? You know, I would say when the Obama administration came in 2009, you could say that at least there was a Syria. Now I'm not sure that there is such a thing as Syria per se, or an Assad government per se. So that's a whole huge ball of wax that we just got to set aside. But let's pretend that there's something. What is it that you offer them? It is a different relationship with the Arab world, potentially. Why do they want that exactly? Because they're going to turn on the Iranians, who have their fingers in every single pie in Syria you can imagine, from the most mundane television, roads, automobile manufacturing, to universities, to every part of the government. Okay, maybe you can draw them away with that temptation, but the Iranians don't want them to be drawn away, so they're going to fight it. They're not going to be a passive player. I don't think there's any question. Bashar al-Assad wouldn't be in his country if it weren't for Iran. If Iran and Hezbollah had not come in to save him at the hands of the various groups that were seeking to oust him, he wouldn't be there anymore. And as much of a, if we can use this word in think tank world, as much of a creep as he is, I don't think that he can fail to appreciate how much he owes to the Iranians. And by the way, something that no one else in the region owes in the same way to the Iranians: his very survival. For the future of Syria, it's the big question that's going to confront, I suspect, this administration in Washington and perhaps the next one, because it is not clear to any of us what a peaceful Syria will look like, how you put back together these regional interests that have emerged, how you deny again to the people of Syria their right to live in some sort of freedom, not under an Assad. So I would more readily answer a question about what the future of Israeli-Palestinian peace looks like than I would tell you what it is that Syria is going to look like. I think none of us know.